right, you're welcome to another edition of the program, The Call of Faith on Armed Forces Radio Service 107.7 FM Abuja. I am Dr. Gidado Taufik Mikdad. I want to start today, as usual, by thanking the Most High, the Great, the Almighty, the ever-living God, Lord of the worlds, the Lord who is yesterday, today, and forever. He will always be there. The Lord who is always powerful will never become powerless. The Lord who is the ever living, and he will never ever have a taste of death. The Lord in whose power is the dominion and control of everything that exists. Whether animate or inanimate, the Almighty Creator owns them all. He directs all, he controls all, and he owns everything that exists, whether what we can see or what we cannot see. Exalted be your mighty name, Allah. I want to start today by welcoming you to this edition of the program, especially as we delve into the topic today on Moses. And the topic today we're going to be discussing is on Moses won over Pharaoh. You see, Moses, may the peace and blessings of the Almighty be upon him, was one of the apostles and messengers that God had sent with the most onerous task, sent to the most, arduous of creature. That was Pharaoh himself. Pharaoh was so hard and tough to the extent that he declared himself as a god to the people. In Quran chapter 28, verse 3 and following, God Almighty tells us about how high-handed Pharaoh was on earth and how much evil he had committed on earth, to the extent that he decided to emasculate and decimate the children of Israel in such a bad way. And in his own decision and in his own plan, his war plan, he wanted to reduce and capitulate further the children of Israel into submission willy-nilly. However, as Pharaoh planned, God Almighty was watching. And who is the best planner here? Of course, can anyone contest with God in terms of his plan, power, dominion, control? Well, I have never seen anyone who can compete and contend with the Almighty, except the one who wants to end like Pharaoh ended. Here it is. Pharaoh had a plan to further, capitulate the children of Israel into submission when he declared that every male born amongst the children of Israel would be killed. As in, every male child born will be killed at birth. You can have a birth control system. You ask me whether such thing still happens today, then your guess is as good as mine, man. Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know. But the point is that Pharaoh went out of his way to ensuring that the children of Israel were reduced. The year when he intended to kill all the males, that was the year Moses was born. The mother of Moses in Quran chapter 28 verses 4 to 5, she was afraid of keeping the baby, but God told her, if you are afraid of keeping your baby, throw him out into the river and I will find him back for you. The mother of Moses did not hesitate this. She obeyed the rule. She obeyed God Almighty, and off she went. She threw the baby Moses into the river. There was it. Moses, picked up from the river by one of the agents of Pharaoh, and eventually he landed in the palace of Pharaoh. To cut the long story short and fast forward, Moses was raised by the same Pharaoh who wanted to have him dead. So Moses won. Here was it. Pharaoh wanted to kill Moses at birth, yet Pharaoh ended up raising Moses right in his house. So Moses won. Allahu Akbar. Going forward, you remember that Moses lived in Egypt then as quote-unquote de facto prince of the palace. You know, he walked in the land of Egypt with pride, the pride of having been raised in the palace. So he saw an Egyptian punishing, almost killing an Israeli. So he told the Egyptian, leave him alone. It's okay, it's fine. What you have done is enough. But the Egyptian, feeling so entitled, refused to listen to Moses. So Moses dragged him and pushed him out. So when he pushed him, the guy hit his head and he died. So Moses committed a manslaughter. Pharaoh went out to kill him. Moses flee